The relationship between Marshall D. Teach and Rox Xebec has been officially revealed, and it's way too deep. It's deeper than I initially thought. Bro, I thought it's gonna be something like Inherited Will, like Luffy and Roger, but no, bro. It's deeper than that. It's about blood. And speaking of Roger, I remember Son Goku saying that Rox was Roger's greatest foe. And with the info that we're getting on this chapter, man, Rox was a monster. He was not a figurehead like Baggy, bro. He was also about that action. He was a beast. I can understand now how he was able to pull people like Whitebeard, Big Mom, Shiki, Kaido, and everybody all under his wing. That man was not something to be played with. We're getting all the spoils on chapter 1154. The chapter is titled I Can't Even Die. When I was reading the title, I was like, we're gonna get a Kaido season 2, because he is the only person who can say, I can't even die even if I wanted to. So I was like, who is gonna pull a Kaido right now, bro? I was like, let's go in, bro. On the cover page, we have Yamato, page 1, Ulti, Kiku, and the samurai lady who was working under Boss Hyogoro. I forgot her name. They are at the grave of a hero who was born in West Blue and raised in Ringo. So I think they are talking about Shimotsuki Ushimaru. And this is a beautiful moment to have Yamato visit his grave, because they were all locked up in Onigashima by Kaido, and they literally sacrificed food and their lives so that Yamato can live another day. So seeing him visiting his grave, it's a good thing, bro. It's a very beautiful moment. And as I'm seeing page 1 and Ulti, I can say that they are now finally Yamato's retainers. And I don't know the relationship Kiku had with Ushimaru, but I would love to have her as Yamato's as retainer as well. And you might say, how can she be Yamato's retainer when she has one arm? And I'm gonna say, Shanks is an emperor and he has one arm. So I would love to have Kiku also travel outside of Wano when Yamato is leaving. So right now, let's go into the chapter. The official chapter starts 63 years ago. This is Elbaf's past, right after Big Mom killed Lord Yorul. Bro, this is insane. So what's more insane about this is the fact that Big Mom doesn't know that on this specific day, she killed someone. And what's more crazy is the fact that I always thought that the Giants hate her mainly because of her killing Lord Yorul. But no, it's what happened after as well. Because it is said that after Lord Yorul died, Elbaf went through drought and famine, natural disasters, bro. It was so crazy. They couldn't plant, they couldn't even fish, they couldn't do nothing, bro. It was really a dark period. And all of this happened right after Big Mom killed Lord Yorul. And as I said, that it's crazy because according to her, she doesn't know the reason the Giants hate her so much. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't think Mother Caramel, actually, I know that she didn't tell her that, hey, on this specific day, you killed someone. Like you'll remember in Whole Cake Island, she killed one of her sons, and they didn't tell her that because maybe it's gonna put her in a dark place again. But I believe that Mother Carmel as well didn't tell her because like it was gonna put her in a dark place. So now it kind of makes sense why the Giants hate her so much. But according to her, they just hate her for no reason, bro. This is really, really insane. Moving to the next page, it was revealed on the last chapter that Loki's mom fell sick right after giving birth, and right now she is in bed, and she is saying that everything that is happening in Elbaf is all because of Loki. Loki is cursed. They should have killed him immediately. By saying this, bro, I'm like, sorry, I hate this woman as much as I hate the celestial dragons, bro, because what the fuck? And the person that she is telling to says, hey, it must be a coincidence, bro. And remember, right now, I have like, this is a Luyori where I'm like, maybe Elbaf got to a point where it got separated into two factions. The other faction believing that it was Big Mom's fault that they are going through this dark phase. The other faction believing that it was Loki's fault, mainly because of her mom, because this woman was evil. She literally spread that rumor around Elbaf, bro. Look, and as she is talking with this guy, Loki breaks the door. Look, when I first read this, I didn't notice that Loki broke the door. But when I read it the second time, I was like, man, this boy was built different since birth, bro. This boy was built different since birth. And the first thing that she does, bro, is screaming that Loki is looking at her, bro. Who is he supposed to look at? Who is he supposed to look at, bro? And she's like, take this monster away from me. And Loki is crying, bro, because he is still a baby, to a point that she even says that they should remove Loki's eyes. And when I was reading this, I was like, wait a minute. Did they pull a Fujitora on Loki, bro, when he was a baby? Because what the hell, bro? And like, y'all remember that Loki has bandages in his eyes, right? So I was like, did they pull a Fujitora on his eyes mainly because of his mom, bro? This woman was evil, bro. And then we move forward. We're skipping from that. We see another bond of a mother and daughter, but this time they are crying, bro. Oda doesn't fail to introduce childhood trauma, bro, on his manga, bro. And they're talking about the fact that they just ate their last bread. Bruh, it was really that insane. And we see two giants arguing with each other. The other one says, hey, let's go and attack the human countries because we need food. The other one says, hey, right now the law forbids that. I think this is because of Harald's vision of uniting Elbaf with other countries. But this other guy says, hey, the law forbids that right now. And instead, they fight amongst themselves, bro, to a point of they literally kill each other, bro. This is really insane, bro. And on the last panel, we see this guy saying that he had a rumor that Loki is cursed. Bro, I told you that his mom, bro, spread the rumor around Elbaf, and people now are buying it mainly because of what is happening in Elbaf, bro. Estrid was the devil, and this guy decides to attack Ida and Harudin, saying that, hey, Harudin, you are Loki's elder brother, so we should make you a sacrifice so that, hey, this famine goes away. And this also like had me thinking about Skype here. Why is it every time that a famine is happening and people just assume that, hey, we have to kill someone? So this guy says that, hey, Loki, Harudin, actually, you are Loki's older brother, and since he's cursed, you are going to make a good sacrifice. Bruh, this is really crazy. And I like Ida's way of saying that Harudin is a cutie who's gonna live, who's gonna be the longest living human on earth, bruh. Ida is really like one of my favorite characters, bro, in One Piece, bro, because like she's awesome, bro. I would really have loved to have Harold marry her instead of that devil Estrid, bro. So this guy decides to say, hey, look, Ida, I'm going to kill you first because you seduced Harold. Bruh, Harold wouldn't even be doing all these things to help Elbaf if it wasn't for Ida. And as he is about to attack Ida, a punch flows from Harold to save the day, bro. I was like, yeah, this is really awesome, bro. And we see Ida and Harudin crying, and Harold is like, hey, guys, let's not fight amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this man was like a good man, and we get to see his face with the mark. Bro, he kind of looks like Shanks. His design is awesome. And he talks about hearing that, about Loki's birth and the famine that was happening in Elbaf. And he reached out to these countries and he came with food, bro. This is a hero, bro. He saves the day, bro. And he's like, hey, this small world is ours to share, bro. We're not supposed to fight. Instead, we are supposed to unite, bro. And after his arrival, I guess a few days after, and the narration says that, actually, look, Estrid died, but the narration says Estrid preached that Loki was cursed up until the day she died. That's how much she didn't like Loki, bruh. This is insane, and we get to see Harold crying. Now I'm like, is he crying mainly because of Estrid's death, or that he had that Estrid was saying that everything happening in Elbaf is mainly because of Loki? So now I'm like, why is he crying? Because I wouldn't cry for this witch, bruh. Maybe, but because he didn't know that she was busy saying that behind his back. You know what I'm saying? And we get to have this cool moment of Loki and Harold, like they're playing, you get what I'm saying? Like it's very nice. And Loki is not smiling and he has the bandages in his eyes right now at this moment. And Harold feels like Loki has like and actually this guy speaks like Loki has an eye condition, but I'm like, why is he the only person who has this eye condition in Elbaf? Because I would have thought like maybe Harold would say, hey, this because of my genes or his mom's genes, like it kind of makes sense, but he doesn't say nothing. And it is said that at only a few months old, Loki gave up on love. And Harold is like, why is Loki not smiling? But I guess I understand because he just lost his mom. But that was not the case, bro. This man was abused at only a few months, was neglected at only a few months. Then we're moving forward. It is said that Harold's diplomacy started working. You get what I'm saying? To unite nations, his dream started working. And then Loki was given to Astrid's older brother. Look, this man was not easy on Loki at all. He literally hated him as much as Astrid hated Loki, bro. He says that Loki is the reason that Astrid died. Bro, this is really insane. But one cool moment is seeing Ida and Harodin. They literally moved to literally where it is said is, what's this place? The land of the dead, near there, because Harold is saying that they need to be to have a close place that people can literally arrive at. You get what I'm saying? And Ida is saying that if this is gonna help Harold, I'm willing to do it, no matter how dangerous it is. And I won't discriminate against anybody. Anyone who comes here is welcome. She opened a bar, bro. This is very, very awesome. I love Ida at this point, bro. I really love her. You get what I'm saying? And then we get to go 56 years ago now at Yarul's house. It's Yarul and Harold. They are talking about an incident that happened at the reverie. So the world government doesn't want to allow Harold to go at the reverie. Mainly because, I think it's mainly because of Dory and Brogy and the war, the Giants pirates, you get what I'm saying? Because the Giants refused to work with the world government back then. So now as Harold is trying to fix Elbaf and connect it with the world government and everything, they refused to allow him to go to the reverie. And it is said that if that incident of someone being killed, Harold would have been found. And then Yarul goes to talk about Galileo Warhammer Company, which is shipwrights. So I'm like, maybe Tom or Iceberg took the name of Galileo Company from these giants because they were also shipwrights. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, this is nice. Maybe they are the ones who built those Plutons. Because what the hell, if they were really that big, man, and they have that tree in Elbaf, which is said to be the strongest, they could build Pluton. It makes sense, right? And Yarul talks about the fact that these guys were caught by a big force, literally in prison. And he's saying that these guys were not just easily caught. They must have fought a strong enemy. Bro, I'm like, who else? Did they get to meet Emu? Because I believe that he is the only person who can bring the giants down, because it was said that they are literally the biggest and the strongest force on the seas. So who can take the giants down except for Emu, bro? And then they talk about the fact that the world government not allowing Harold is not only because of Harold, but something way deeper than that. And Harold is saying, hey, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to put Elbaf against, actually, on the world government, on the reverie, so that we can meet with other nations. And then they talk about giants that are frozen. And the first thing that I thought about was Punk Hazard. You'll remember when Chopper was treating the kids and we had those frozen giants. What if they're talking about those people? Bruh. And remember, they're also wearing prison clothes. I'm like, bro, what is Oda cooking? Because right now it seems like everything from Punk Hazard up until right now, it's all connected, bro. This is really insane. And then we go to Loki's uncle at this point. He says, Loki, I know you killed my sister because you are cursed. Bro, this boy doesn't get a day of rest in his life. And he's still young, bro. But we get this panel of like a timeline of Loki getting these harsh treatments, bro. These harsh treatments. Bro, this man, bro, had no choice but to turn evil, bro, at this point, because everybody is saying that Loki is evil. And then 48 years ago, and then Harold is saying that his dream now is finally working of having the giants being accepted everywhere they go. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is a beautiful moment for Elbaf, especially if they have like famines again. Right now they know they have dependable allies, and it's all thanks to Harold. But as Harold is busy preaching this, he leaves, and then Loki starts being the devil, bro. He starts spreading terror. Literally, he tamed the animals from the underworld, and he's like, beat everybody up in the village. Because I mean, at this point, bro, what is he supposed to do? Because everybody already hates him, mainly because of his mom. He's like, hey, let's spread terror around this whole country, bro. And bro, look, this man was really insane, bro. This man was really insane. And Harodin steps in, tried to stop him. Bro, he whoop his ass. He whoop his ass, bro. And he's like, hey, don't call my father daddy. You are not a prince, nigga. You are nothing, bro. You are half-blood. Bro, this man Loki was like, you know what? I'm going to turn against everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then it is said that Loki spread pain and destruction. Bro, but in all of that, none could feel the hole in his heart, bro. This was like, when I was reading this hit hard, bro. This really hit hard. And remember, he's also carrying that Kaido type of thing weapon, bro. And he's had spikes. Oh, actually, even Kaido's had spikes, bro. But I'm like, this guy is beating people with that shit. And he is still young, bro. And then we get that Kaido moment now. We get that Kaido moment. Y'all remember on the last chapter when he was born, his mom threw him to the underworld. And this time, he is throwing himself to the underworld, bro. And he falls and he's like crying and everything. I can't even die. So the chapter is titled after him. He's the one who pulled a Kaido, bruh. Look, and I really thought that the bandage meant that they pulled a Fujitora on him, but now the eyes are still there, bruh, looking scary and everything. So he's looking up, crying. Here's what happens right now. This is where everything, like the main chapter starts. This is where everything blows my mind. As he is crying, someone cuts the mountain and the animals start attacking. And then they're like, oh, we find a giant. Guess this is Elbaf. And we see Shiki and Whitebeard saying that, hey, this bread got one of a devil face, bro. Like, bro, at this point, this guy doesn't get a rest, bro. Like, this person just met him today and he's already saying, hey, this boy got a devil face, bro. And then we move from there, we get to see Roxy Xebec, bro. And he is with Whitebeard, Shiki, and Stacy. And it is revealed that Rox killed a Navy admiral single-handedly and disappeared without a trace. Bro, this man is a monster. Right now, I'm like, wait a minute. Does it mean that he ate the dark fruit? Which devil fruit did he eat to disappear without a trace at a reverie? Because at the reverie, it's full, bro. Everybody is there. And this man disappeared without a trace. And it is said after killing the Navy Admiral, that's when he got a massive bounty. And the world government started saying, hey, this is the worst criminal in history. Bruh, this man was all about that action. And he's like, I'm not the type of a person who takes no for an answer. So I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Does this mean that he asked Whitebeard to join his crew and Whitebeard refused and then they fought? They fought actually. I'm like, what the hell? How did he get these people on his crew, bro? He's like, hey, look, I'm not the type of a person to take no for an answer. Is this Elbaf? And where do I find Harold? I guess this is the point where Loki is gonna ask to join Rox's crew, because he was like, hey, you know what? This man is strong and he never said anything about my face or how I look. I might follow this man. And seeing beasts like Whitebeard, you get what I'm saying? Like, he's like, hey, I can fit in his crew. And then we get the massive revelation. Rox Xebec, future captain of the Rox Pirates, father of Emperor Blackbeard. Bro, now I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He is Blackbeard's father? Does this mean that Blackbeard joined Whitebeard's crew because he knew that, hey, they used to work or follow his father? Bro, I'm like, and I would say that Whitebeard didn't know that Blackbeard was Rox's son, because I remember when they were having a conversation with Roger saying that, what's with the D? Because even in my crew, I have someone with the D on his name, and that was Blackbeard. Marshall D. Teach. And remember, Roger did the same thing with Ace. They changed Ace's surname from Gold D Ace. It was supposed to be Gold D Ace. But it became Podcast D Ace. And right now, maybe Blackbeard also took his mother's name, Marshall D. Teach. And I'm like, wait a minute. So there's a lot of parallel between Rox and Roger. I'm like, what the hell is happening in this chapter, bro? Look, this man looks exactly like Blackbeard. He looks exactly like him. And I'm like, bro, this is really an insane chapter. Right now I'm thinking about the fact that maybe everything that Blackbeard did up until now was maybe revenge. Even on Whitebeard, the person who took him under his wing, it was all about revenge. Like, you let my father die, and right now, I'm gonna make you pay. And remember, even Loki said that he hated his father mainly because he allied with the world government, and the world government hated Rox. So what if Blackbeard said, hey, you know what? Everybody who conspired in taking down my father, I'm paying revenge, and I'm gonna start with Whitebeard. Bro, this is an insane chapter, man. This is a really insane chapter. I just don't know what to accept on the next one, bro, because this is really insane. But let me know, guys, what do you think, especially about Loki's eyes? Why is he the only person in Elbaf who has those eyes? And will those eyes in a way help with the fight against Imu and the Holy Knights? And did Blackbeard plan revenge from the beginning? I mean, he took down Ace, who happens to be Goldie Roger's son. He took down Whitebeard in a way, and now he has Gap. And all these people are kind of connected to Rox. Bro, what do you all think is going to happen going forward, especially with Blackbeard? And remember that Lafitte is in Marijois right now. Bro, what do you all think Blackbeard is planning?